Hey guys, welcome back. It is Lucid and we're jumping into our game with early age Yomi, turn 28 in Ringworld. So, if you recalled, we had suffered the loss of a few Dione, and in general we were having a full retreat, where, okay, not a full retreat, we were having a screened retreat, where we'd have some people out raiding, but most of our forces were coming back. As we prepared to get what we thought we finally would need to kill this super combatant. Part of the problem was I ended up using my first super combatant killer. Instead of just having him sit around, I had him go and attack to try to draw Formoria's god out, and he died. So anyway, we have a new plan where we're not relying on luck, and where Formoria chooses to move nearly as much because we are air empowering our Dione. So without further ado, let's get into this turn. Ever wonder why we must kill elves? Yeah, me neither. We get 2 skull mentors, and that's about it from Lanka. We have a message from Zabalba. I had messaged him a while ago saying, hey, it looks like Niflheim's stomping through your lands. And he says, oh, it's going. He's barreling down on me, but I hope to lure him into a trap soon. Will still be a tough war. Meanwhile, as you can see down here, we attacked him. Yeah. I won't pretend I wasn't complicit in that. I mean, we did not have peace with Zabalba. We hadn't even talked. He hadn't even said anything to me. I was waiting for him to finish taking his moon. He never took it. So, first battle, we moved a big, rather large army on top of his fort, led by this Oni Shugo, who had a Ring of Returning, and then this to bless himself. In case he got hit, that all might make a difference, or certainly it would help him have regeneration, so the one time he does get hit, he probably won't get an affliction. He does get diseased, but that is not a problem on demons. Which is weird, it's not really mentioned anywhere. It's not mentioned in disease, I don't think. Yeah, it's not mentioned here, and it's not mentioned in the demon tooltip. But it is true. Demons are completely unaffected. Okay, our barbarians are in trouble. Okay, so this guy was scripted to Spirit Curse. And my thinking for that was that it's very possible that he sends his... I probably wouldn't have been positioned far enough forward for this, but he could have sent his Formorian king up, in which case it would have been nice to curse him. And you can see our Koani are actually doing pretty good. They have really good stats in Chaos. So here you can see we've got the Chaos Power +3, that's due to 100-something unrest on top of this fort. And yeah, high defense, high attack, 16 damage is super solid. I mean, these are very, very damagey for... and the other thing is you can put 6 per square, which, you know, sometimes when evocations come out, that's a problem. But for now, it's awesome because it means we harass them down. Like, if we go back and we just watch part of that real quick, I'll just show you how they get harassed down. I mean, these are pretty solid units. Size 4, 30 HP, decent defense. Okay. Okay, now this guy's getting hit by a ton of dudes. Like, his defense is already a 5 penalty, and before he dies, yeah, it's down to a -8 penalty. So now he's getting hit every single attack. And this guy, the big one, he hits for 27 damage. It's so much. 14 attack. Okay, our barbarians run, but that's okay. I think we're going to kill them before our barbarians get off the board. No, maybe not. Okay. So that was that battle. On to the next. This is Formoria. Apparently he's moving out. We haven't seen this many attacks from Formoria yet, but he's got big armies on the move. He has a ton of giants here. Just look how many there are. 9, and then a king, and then some Numidian. Or no, these are unmarked. Oh, these are the sacred variety too. Some of the unmarked are. Yeah, the unmarked are actually the sacred Formorian, or what, cursed ones, or whatever they are. So they actually become pretty killy with this, with 2 attack bonus and blood surge. They're going to do a lot of damage. And all of these guys should benefit from repel. It will be kind of interesting just to see. I'm going to go ahead and put the this little display thing on. Okay, look at all these repels. I mean, I'll pause it real quick. Hit Barbarian. Barbarian hit them. Okay, yeah, he was repelled. He was repelled, more repels. It's more than half the attacks are getting repelled. So this is a super cool build. I really want to try something like this on Formoria. Formoria is one of the nations I kind of wanted to play. They have a fair amount of versatility in that they can go underwater, and they have very good evocation options with their Air Tomb mages that are everywhere. And they also have super combatants, and potentially you can turn, I don't know if they have one here. No. Potentially you can turn these little, whatever this race is. They have Air 2 dudes, and you can probably turn them into light thugs with Cloud Trapeze. So it's a very cool nation, and then they also have Dance of Mordigans, or whatever you say. And this bless actually would be pretty good on them. The thing is, and I think this is what the thing is the Mordigans, or however you say it, they come onto the battlefield. I don't believe they come blessed. So often it's something you want to do with your Pretender God, because if you don't, they're not going to come blessed, because the Pretender God is going to auto-bless everything on the field. I don't know if Divine Blessing will trigger frequently enough if you bring a Holy 3 that you can rely on that. But anyway, it's a very cool nation. They also have some interesting tricks. They used to be able to do Rain of Stone Traps and things like that in Dominions 4. But it's very cool. I haven't been able to think of a viable build for them though, so it's one of the fun things when you play multiplayer. You see other people's builds, and sometimes you're like, oh man, I totally want to try that, maybe with a different angle. And this is a cheap Pretender God. I mean, look at him. He's only Fire 4 or Nature 5, Blood 4. This is super cheap. This is basically Scales coming dormant, which is a lot of times I think how you want to play. I like taking good Scales on nations, if you hadn't known. Okay, so he is running into Lanka first, and he's going to use up all of his blood slaves. So he's getting very hard. I mean, every time he casts this, he gets more and more hard marked. I wish there was some way, even with just colors, that this would kind of amp up. Because some of it is fun, just the mystery of not knowing how hard marked you are. But it would be kind of cool if there were different colors for this. So that it was, maybe there were like overlapping ranges or something like that. You could see how hard marked you thought you were. Because this guy's getting pretty hard marked now. Which is fine if nobody puts up... The problem is if somebody puts up Astral Corruption, pretty sure Doom Harvest would kill him. Even with this crazy build. In this game, though, in early age is the age when it's least likely that Astral Corruption will come up. There's not many nations that are going to want to. There's a fair number of strong blood nations, but a lot of them don't really want to do Astral Corruption. I mean, Lanka would be the most likely one to want to, but it doesn't really have the tools. It doesn't have Astral. The other blood nation that kind of could would be Zabalba, and they don't usually have the tools either. And nor do they really want to. They have really strong elemental paths. Oh, I think I skipped one. Okay, so Lanka is attacking into Zabalba. Interestingly, so he's got a fair number of people on Guard Commander, but this isn't really enough. Yeah, I think... Yeah, these guys would get basically murdered. With Zots on attack rear. And I probably should mention it to him, but what you want to do is... Here, I'll show you again. He would want to put these guys farther forward and then have one group in the back, maybe with one of the mages back here, and he would bless them, or he could even put them back. No, I think you would probably put them back here with like 5 of them, and you would time it so that after 2 turns of movement, they would be right around here. And that way it wouldn't be a guaranteed kind of kill on your mages if they do attack rear. And slight nitpick, we could put this guy back here, because the L formation has a little bit less surface area than a line, I believe. Could be wrong. Actually, I guess it's the same. No. Is it? Anyway, who cares? It's not really going to change anything. Either those guys are going to die on attack or they're not. The thing is, this is mostly Scorpions. Scorpions kind of suck. And I think they have really low morale too, as do all the Zots. So that's the thing. Repel actually is going to make his mages not immediately pop when they get attacked by Zots, because they're going to repel a lot of the attacks. So anyway. I think we missed one battle here, which was kind of important. This was us moving an army here, which I thought would be kind of safe from the Pretender God, but it turns out it is not. So he does personal regen. Bunch of other shit. We've got our immortal guy here. I think... I don't know what we scripted him for. I guess he's just doing big raised deads. Those throwing fires are probably not going to work. Oh, I guess they could have worked. But fire's armor piercing. It's not going to get through all this protection. Now some of these guys hit pretty hard. Like... okay, yeah. These guys are going to hit pretty hard. 18 attack, 31 damage. No, like, these are normally guys that would give super combatants some trouble. We've also got our shades in the back, which can cause a permanent additional weakness, though we do not see that. That's a little sad. This guy's defense, even though he's completely surrounded, it's still above 20, which is pretty ridiculous. And this was kind of our big army, quote-unquote. This is our army to siege down that fort. So, kind of shitty. Makes me sad. We still have not gotten the strength debuff on him, which is a bit sad. We have hit him a few times. We didn't cause an affliction, even though we got him cursed. Nor did we break his shield or do anything kind of useful. So, yeah, so that's kind of the turn so far. Oh, I've started naming these guys after people who comment. So, I suppose if you request, I can try to name one of the Dione after you. But there's going to be actually, it's probably not going to work that way, because there's a huge lag between, like a very big lag between when you would theoretically ask and when I would put them up. So, I don't know, if you comment, just comment for whatever reason on stuff you're interested in, and occasionally I will put some of you in the game from now on. But anyway, this is Satano Nishida, and he has been selected to be one of our Air Dione, and this is pretty close to the kit he'll have. We're actually going to ditch this bracer and give him a lifelong protection. And then we have the Grand Wombat. I believe he's in this game. I think he's playing Agartha up here. But anyway, he is a frequent commenter, so he is going to be one of my Dione. And he is empowering himself up, and these two are going to tag team this guy. And what I need, they're going to be ready to go next turn. And guys, I have tested this to death because it's super risky, and especially like sending in air-empowered dudes. Like, there's a ton of gems invested, not to mention cap-only sacreds and money and whatever. So, if I wanted to be super safe, I would just pull this guy back, but I don't want to be super safe. You know what I want to do? I want to make sure this guy doesn't get comfortable and be like, oh, I'm going to go sit back out here. Yeah, we're going to go run out there and go just destroy this. Just to freaking cause havoc. Now, I'm not going to lose this guy. He'll get zapped back home, but there's a very, very, very significant chance. Actually, I probably should just mix these guys together. Oh, no. there's a very significant chance that these guys just all get murdered. So yeah, we're gonna come in here and attack. Now the problem is, okay, yeah, I don't have much up here, which is kind of the problem. Actually, this guy needs to come over here so we can pick these up. I was gonna go ping this. I'm gonna take this message away from Lanka. We need to see how far away this Pretender God chassis is from the front line, so that we know if he's in range of Hellbind Heart. And I would do that, but we're doing a mass running. And, like, this guy, he's set to retreat. All these guys are on retreat. Here, we're gonna go try to pick these guys up. They're probably freaking dead. There's a chance he blood hunts here this turn. I really do not want him to move his Pretender somewhere else. That's kind of the number one thing. Okay. Oh, it didn't do events. So, Phantasmal Warriors attacked. 5 Earth Gems, very nice. 1,400 people left, not so good. Half of them went here. And a limping man in a black coat appeared at the gate of the local shrine. He offered to deal to anyone willing to sign the contract in blood. Sayuri Namanari signed it. So, let's go see where this is. Okay, so we have a soul contract now, which is a super freaking expensive item. It is so expensive that you would never, ever, 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 ever want to forge it unless you don't care about winning. It used to be a great item. It used to be a great way to diversify and get some, high mobility units from blood slaves, but it was always a big trade-off because you had to invest mage turns. It was really hard to forge before. Now it's easy to forge, but nobody wants to forge it. Yeah. The thing is, it takes so long to get 90 slaves worth of devils out of it that it's never going to pay itself off, and it's tainted, so eventually the guy you put it on is going to die. And this is less important, but they are going to die. It's a significant taint. I forget what it is, but it's not like they're going to maybe die in 5 years. No, they're going to die. Usually I think you would... I used it a fair amount in Dominions 4, but I think you would get about 2 years out of them, and then they were kind of starting to die. So if you think about it, 2 years, it's 24 devils for 90 blood slaves. That would be worth it if you got them all on turn 1. But you get them over the course of 2 years, all distributed out, so like the logistics are horrible, it's hard to move them around, you have to waste commander turns for that. This is a bad item to buy, but it is a great item to get for free. So, we are very happy to have that. Yeah, you've got a short lease on your life now. At some point, somebody will be coming to collect. Phantasmal Warriors attacked. They were repelled. And that is it for the events. For the turn, though, we have some big ideas. So Lanka attacked. Zabalba thinks we're being friendly. I mean, we've been friendly, and we would stay friendly, but there's a few things. We need to get off this freaking planet, because we have the whole planet, and I'm making 1,100 gold. My upkeep is rapidly, in not too long, I'm kind of serious, we're not going to be able to make anything but Dione. So we need to get off. We got to be aggressive. I'm going to have these Oni building up over here, so these are probably going to go kill Agartha. We have a nap, so I'll probably have to end that nap. I need to figure out, we need to get Oni Shugo over on this side of the map, probably turn this into like a little unrest haven. Or maybe this, I'm not sure. One of these. Not this one. We need those alchemists. But, yeah, once we do that, then we will be able to send a big force in to take it. Or Lanka can use his troops to come over here and take this. What I'm going to do to prepare is we're going to go ahead and take this throne. And this is actually a pretty tough throne. If you look at it, it's mainly Springhawks. These guys do armor negating shock damage. Icarids, which are flying troops. Militia, heavy infantry, Griffins. Griffins do a fair amount of damage. And a Titan of Heaven. So what that means, though, is if we have shock resistance, they can't hurt us. So it's a very dangerous but a very one-dimensional army. So in this case, we're going to have a ton of shock resistance. We're going to have this lightning spear, which Lanka gave us a while ago, which we weren't going to use. This black steel sword, so we can chop things up. A hat, copper plate, which is going to give us 25 shock resistance. Probably the cheapest source of shock resistance in the game. And ranger boots, which is going to give us some much-needed reinvigoration. And then also some forest survival. I don't know if that's going to be important over here. I don't see any forests on this moon, which is fine. And then 2 braces of protection. Now, what that is going to mean is that turn 1, because my shock resistance is really high right now, it's 30. Turn 1, we're going to Iron Skin. That's going to drop our shock resistance down to 25, but it will jump back up to 35 once we cast Blessing. This one will go off before they all jump on me, assuming they're all on attack closest. I don't know which one they are. I'm not going to go bother testing this out with finding that actual throne in a practice game. But yeah, so this will put my protection though into the. Okay, here's the quick way to figure out what your protection is going to be. Right now my base protection's 8, so it's going to jump up to 20 when I do Iron Skin. My current armor value is 19. You can see that right here. The rough approximation to figure out what your total protection is going to be is you do 19 plus, or you take both of these numbers, you take the higher one and you add it to half of the lower one. So in this case, half of the lower one, it's like 5 to 6, so 19 plus 5 to 6, 25, boom. So that's like 19 plus 6. That's not the actual formula. This is like a heuristic that we can do without doing square roots and stuff, I think. But when we have 20 protection, that's effectively going to increase this by like 5. So our total protection is going to jump to like 20, to 30, maybe 31, we'll see. So anyway, at 30 protection, I should be immune to all the stuff they're going to do. And then after I finish my buffing cycle, we'll do Earth Power next to get Fatigue in control, then we'll do Legions of Steel. This will kick me up to probably 37 or something like that. So then I will be completely immune to physical damage. And then we'll do Fire Shield so that all these guys melt on me and I don't have to sit there and chew them all up. And then at the end, they'll probably all rout, and I probably won't even get to kill their Pretender God. But anyway, that is how that battle should go. And then after that, he can come in here and potentially kill these guys. Though I'm not sure. Anyway, so that is that. I also want to start making my Black Servant, but this guy was going to do it. Wadestar is his name, by the way. He's going to be the heroic Dione that comes in here and kills all these dudes. Playing with him in another game. So, yeah, this guy was going to make a Black Servant, but now Kenichi is going to come in and he's going to make a Black Servant. I think this is he's my unequal to obesity dude. So he's going to come in, cast Black Servant, then we'll probably gear him up to Super Combatant and come down here. We need to be a little careful. I think what we want to do, rather than declaring all-out war on Niflheim, is we're going to tell Niflheim that this is our moon, and we're going to take it by force. And we'll probably do that by killing one army. That's kind of going to be our play. Once we have this moon, I don't know who our next target will be, but there's a good chance it will be Agartha. One of the problems, I think, with Disciple games, too, is you can unbalance teams by getting one of their partners, and it's kind of less fun for the other player. So, I don't even know. Who is Zabalba's partner? I don't really remember. Anyway, but I need to figure out who their partner... It's probably... I know it's Saramati and Kalisa, it's Hinam and Agartha. I don't know who Abyssia's partner is, but anyway. So I don't really want. It would be nicer just to finish off this team to find out who the pretender or disciple, like this guy's partner, is, and go kill them. But it may not be easy because this map kind of pushes us all into weird places. So I think for us, we would much rather have control of these two moons in the ring world, and then from there we would probably try to take out one of the major planets, or at least get a strong foothold in it, but also secure entrance into our system. So anyway, that's kind of how I'm thinking about it right now. But for now, we definitely just want to get this moon, and then we have to think about, is it worth it to try to stay at peace with Agartha? And we need to finish Formoria off. By no means is this a foregone conclusion. If somehow we botch this, we're in trouble. Oh, one more thing. So I showed you this kit, which is what this guy's going to get. We're actually, I found a slight improvement on the kit. We're going to make a Vine Whip, which is not an item that gets much play. It can only do 1 damage, and it's not even guaranteed to do 1. So it can do no damage, but if we hit them, even if we don't deal damage, we will entangle them. And I do not believe there's an MR negates or anything on this like there is on Fine Shield. And what we will do is we're going to put that probably on the Grand Wombat. We'll take off the Dust Dagger. He's going to have a Flesh Eater and a Vine Whip. And then they are both going to jump in with their lifelong protections and kill him, hopefully. If he jumps on a fort this turn, we're going to have to bait him out. And I'll probably bait him out by using super combatants that will kill his giants. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, it will be tricky, but hopefully I think he's probably very shortly going to pull his Pretender God back. I don't think he's going to want to send him in our Dominion, and there's only really 2 provinces left. So I don't know. Well, I don't know if next turn will be the turn we jump, but it will be kind of close. And so I think, what was he doing? Oh, this guy was empowering himself in air. So this was something I wanted to do anyway. We kind of rushed it. We're empowering an air way faster than we were going to. But it should be fun. This is kind of an interesting game, trying to take that. Cracking this super combatant nut is a real puzzle. But Vine Shield actually helps a lot. One of the problems I was having in testing was when you try to kill this guy, he has Boots of Flying, so he'll just fly away if you get him low. And he has super high defense, so it's very hard to kill him full stop. And then if you are killing him, it's very hard to kill him quickly enough where he doesn't just like peace out and leave. So the reason we're using 2 is because I could never get it where if I use only 1 that I reliably kill him. Either he would escape or he would kill me, even with like very specialized gear for this guy. So anyway, that's why we had to use 2. What I didn't realize, but which I'm realizing now, is that when you're sending 2 guys in, putting a Vine Whip on one of them is going to make killing this guy much easier. We'll do it when we actually see it, but it will give him, I think it will stop repels, and it also will give him a big defense penalty while he's entangled, and it will also prevent him from running away. So all of those are things I really like. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next episode.